We've all heard it, right? Your words have power. But what if the most powerful forces shaping your world, what if they aren't the words you speak out loud at all, but the ones you hold in silence? That's what we're going to dive into today. The invisible architecture, the silent blueprint that actually builds your reality.
Okay, be honest. Does this feel familiar? You're doing everything you're supposed to do. You're reciting the affirmations, you're trying to think positive, but your life just feels stuck. Kind of like you're on a hamster wheel you never signed up for. And it's so frustrating, right? Because you're not lazy, you are trying. But what if you've just been taught the whole process completely backward?
You know, most of us treat reality like we're standing in front of a mirror. We're just standing there, begging the reflection to smile first, so then we can feel happy. But here's the absolute truth, the thing we always forget. The mirror can't lead. It has no choice. It can only and will only reflect what's already there. So, if that's true, if your entire external world is just an echo, just a reflection, then where is the original voice coming from? Well, I'll tell you what it's not. It's not your spoken words. It's your silent inner state of being. That's the voice the mirror is actually paying attention to. Okay, let's look at this another way. Think of your life as a giant tree. We spend so much of our time and energy focused on the fruits, right? You know, the money, the relationships, the career. And when the fruit is bitter or rotten, what do? We try to fix the branches. But that's just treating a symptom. If you want to really change the fruit, you have to go deeper. You have to get to the unseen roots, the stuff happening beneath the surface. And look, this is not some new age idea. So many ancient wisdom traditions talk about this, often using the symbol of an upside down tree. Why? To show that our visible material world is actually rooted in an invisible inner world. And this all points to a fundamental principle of the universe, the law of cause and effect. And what does that mean, really? It means that every single detail in your visible world, I'm talking from the biggest life events to the tiniest, most random encounters, every single one can be traced back to a cause in your unseen inner world. So let's just boil this all down, make it super simple. Your silent, hidden inner world, that's the cause. That's the root system. And your visible outer world, that's the effect. That's the fruit. That silent dialogue you're having with yourself all day long, that is literally the groundwork for everything you experience. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds very nice and philosophical, but a thought isn't a real thing. Well, here's the amazing part. This isn't just some abstract idea anymore. Modern neuroscience is telling a surprisingly similar story. Let's actually look at how this works on a physical, biological level. So, you've probably heard that old myth that we only use 10% of our brains, right? Yeah, we now know that's totally not true. A huge part of the rest is made up of something called glial cells. Now, for the longest time, scientists thought these were just, filler, brain padding. But they're not. They are active modifiers. They literally shape how your brain functions based on your mental environment. And this all comes down to a concept called neuroplasticity. Basically, your brain isn't some fixed object you're stuck with. It's much more like clay, and it's constantly being reshaped. And what's reshaping it? Your silent internal words. They are literally sculpting your physical brain. There's a famous saying in neuroscience, neurons that fire together wire together. All that means is that the thoughts you repeat are strengthening those connections, making them your brain's new default pathway. So this is how you actually update your personal blueprint for reality. It's a simple process. First, you have a silent internal thought. That thought physically forges a new pathway in your brain. And boom, just like that, the very lens through which you see and interact with the world gets an update. But there's a catch. And honestly, it's a really big one. The universe, that great mirror we talked about, it doesn't respond to our words. It doesn't speak English or Spanish or any human language. It speaks the language of feeling, the language of energy, the language of vibration. Think about a super common affirmation, something like, I will be successful. We say the words over and over, hoping something will happen. But so often, those words are just empty shells. Why? Because they don't actually carry the feeling of what it's like to be successful. And this is the crucial misunderstanding for so many people. When you say, I will be successful, the underlying feeling, the vibration you're actually sending out is, I am not successful right now. The universe doesn't respond to your hopeful words, it responds to your present moment feeling of lack. So the real shift, the game changer, is moving from a state of chasing to a state of becoming. You have to learn to embody the feeling of the wish already fulfilled. And look, this is not fake it till you make it. It's about shifting from a state of desperate needing, which just broadcasts lack, to a state of calm sufficiency, which broadcasts fulfillment. Okay, so that's all the theory. But how do we actually do this? How do we go from knowing this stuff to actually living it? How do we become the silent architect of our own lives? Let's get into some real practical tools you can start using like today. All right, the first tool is called the backward review. It's simple. At the end of your day, before you go to sleep, mentally retrace your steps. Go from the last thing you did all the way back to the moment you woke up. Now, this does more than just boost your memory. It actually trains your mind to start noticing all the connections, the little synchronicities, the spiritual forces you completely missed while you were just going through the motions. Okay, here are a few other quick tools for your alignment toolkit. First, to break out of a looping thought pattern, do a simple cross-body movement. Seriously, just cross your arms or try using your non-dominant hand for something. This helps sync up your brain's hemispheres. Second, to regulate your nervous system, practice intentional stillness, just for a minute. This is how you shift from being reactive to being creative. And finally, if you want to improve a relationship, stop trying to change them. Instead, inwardly, in your mind, practice seeing them in their highest, best light. Now, as you start doing this work, you might feel a little weird, a little disoriented, and that's okay. Waking up to your own creative power can be strange at first, but I love what the philosopher Soren Kierkegaard said about this. He said that anxiety is just the dizziness of freedom. It's that wobbly feeling you get when you finally realize that you are the one in charge. You are the architect. So if there's one thing you take away from all of this, let it be this. Stop trying to fix the reflection. Stop fighting with your outer world. The real work, the only work, is inward. Your job is to focus on your internal state, to align your silent words with the reality you truly desire, and then just let the mirror do its job and catch up. Think of it this way. Your reality is a canvas, and your inner state is the paint. It's time to start painting with silence. The mirror is waiting. It's always waiting. The only question left is, what are you going to show it?